Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Indy Supershow here on the Damage 365 Radio Network. This is episode number 16. I'm Coach Kev leading the way today. I'm joined in studio by the real number 8, JT. Welcome back.
Thank you, Kev. Glad to be here.
We got a great show today, but we're gonna start off as we usually do. Our birthday shout outs. We want to talk a little bit about WWE Battleground and some of the matches that happened and some of the results and the WWE Raw and SmackDowns that follow. Some say it was the best Raw in a long time, and a lot of people said that SmackDown was terrible. I seem to disagree with that. I mean, obviously, when you're up against 3 hours compared to 2 hours or an hour, you need to get a lot in a program that, it's not fair compared to 2. I felt like SmackDown put enough in the time frame that they had compared to Raw, where they fill all their time frames with nothing but talking and commercials, promos, commercials for the for shows on the network, things like that. It's a 3-hour show with an hour of wrestling, an hour of commercials, and an hour of talking.
I don't even think necessarily at the moment that we should be comparing SmackDown to Raw. We should be comparing SmackDown to previous SmackDowns.
Yeah.
And how different it is now, and how much better it is.
Yep. And we'll talk about the future of the championships, where they are, and how long they're going to stay there, and are we going to see any more championships other than this, I think, an embarrassment, this Universal Championship. I think it's going to be an embarrassing failure. It sounds like a made-up independent title. I just don't. It just sounds terrible. Now, if you want to name it after the WWE Universe, then you should have just called it the People's Champion.
Yeah.
But I guess you're not going to call it that because, The Rock was always known as the People's Champion.
Still is.
So, to me, it's terrible.
They can't fail with the belt.
They're going to fail miserably.
They can't fail.
They're going to fail.
If they fail, then this whole draft is a scrap.
It is. To me, this whole draft is a scrap. It was... To do this now was only because they wanted to bring guys up from NXT and they didn't have room for them. They wanted to alleviate some of the scheduling for some of these superstars to give them a little less workload by working on one show rather than wrestling 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. Now maybe they're only wrestling 2 or 3 days a week. I understand that, but to have this draft and to have you you have your Intercontinental Champion and your World Heavyweight Champion on one side, and then you have your Tag Team Champions and your Women's Champion on another side. That was your mistake right from the beginning. You should have had your Intercontinental Champion and your Heavyweight Champion in 2 different brands.
Absolutely.
So you could have built up the Intercontinental Championship as a major, prestigious title for a show, which they should have did it on Raw. Because if you wanted to say Raw is your flagship show, it's your 3-hour show, that was a chance to make the Intercontinental Championship something it was back in the 80s. Okay? The world title is always going to be the world title. WWE world title, whatever. Now what do you do with the women? You got 6 women on one side, 6 women on the other. You're going to have a women's champion on one, but not on the other. So what makes one... Who cares about the women on SmackDown then?
You really can't, right?
Like, how do you make one stand out? Are you going to make a women's Universal Champion? That's what I'm saying. The future... You make one title, you have to keep... There's another title going to be made.
At least.
So we'll talk about that after the break. Let's get to the birthday shout-outs. We don't have that many today, but we want to recognize them. So sit back, relax. Give us about an hour plus of your time, because later on we're going to have former TNA Knockouts champion Jessie Kresa, formerly known as ODB. So the boob-grabbing, barbecue sauce-making superstar will join us. So sit back, relax. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
For anybody in the audience who's got a birthday today, happy birthday to you.
And if you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
We got some birthday shout-outs, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are. Happy birthday goes out there to damage pitcher number 14, Jason Cuomo. Happy birthday to Jay. Happy birthday goes out to former guests on the show, Nyla Rose, who's currently in Japan. Happy birthday, Nyla. Happy birthday goes out to Cadence Kelly. Happy birthday, Cadence. And former ECW superstar, current WWE star, Devon Dudley. Happy birthday to Devon Dudley. And to everybody else celebrating their birthday with these fine people this week on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous English Town Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information.
This is the War Machine Rhino, the last ever ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Keep listening, or you'll get gored in half.
WarriorsOfWrestling.com. See roster profiles of past and present Warriors of Wrestling stars. Over 50 highlight videos of Warriors of Wrestling events, full-length matches, order tickets to future Warriors of Wrestling events, and an extensive DVD collection featuring past events, compilations, documentaries, and much, much more. Only at WarriorsOfWrestling.com.
This is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius full of glory and renown. You are listening to Damage 365 Radio.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we're back. We're going to say thanks, of course, to our sponsors, the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore over there in the Englishtown Flea Market, Blue Building, booths 46 and 47. And don't forget, on October 2nd, at the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, in conjunction with them, we'll be welcoming in former WWE Diva, former Total Divas cast member, former WWE Superstar, Ariane Andrew, formerly known as Cameron, will be joining us at the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. Also on October 1st at WrestleFest 2 in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey. She'll be joining us as well. So cash in on your chance to meet Ariane Andrew, formerly known as Cameron, former WWE Superstar, former cast member of Total Divas. And, who knows? She might be, maybe she's headed back to WWE soon. We've seen a couple reports that Melina is reportedly going back to WWE. We just saw Shelton Benjamin re-sign Rhino. Even though he was with NXT, he's going to be going to SmackDown. But Shelton Benjamin, who was out there in, I guess, the free agent market. And there was a couple other rumored people that were going to be re-picked up, including Jinder Mahal, which another rumored one to be out there. That's going to be rejoining WWE. I wonder if that's going to be coinciding with what's his face?
The Social Outcasts.
Yeah, but Heath Slater, considering he was parading himself as to be the big free agent, and then he got gored by Rhino on SmackDown, and obviously that introduced Rhino to the SmackDown roster. Mm-hmm. So
it was one of the best parts of the show.
Figures it was the end.
Mm-hmm.
See, again, you don't need a main event match to end a show the right way. But enough of these stupid contract signings, because you know what's going to happen. You know.
Well, yeah. Not to mention that their main event was just kind of left me speechless. Like now, it was not the way to go. Not even close.
They, looked like they tried to mimic Raw a little bit with the multiple.
Well, they did, but
with the multiple matches, the multiple man matches. I wasn't happy. We had the Battle Royal, okay, which Apollo Crews wound up winning, which gave him the automatic right to be in that six-pack match for the #1 contendership, which I wasn't, I really thought that, what the hell, Alberto Del Rio was going to win. He wound up being one of the last guys thrown out. I just feel that once again WWE is forcing down our throat. Now it's going to be Apollo Crews. It was Roman Reigns. It was Sasha Banks. It was many other superstars that got stuff down our throat. The Usos at one point. So now it's going to be Apollo Crews, and then
it really hurt him.
And well, everybody jumping on the bandwagon. Oh my God, it's going to be Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, for the Universal Championship. I'm not excited. I don't. I understand Finn Balor is a great competitor and is a good wrestler, and he does some really cool stuff out there in the ring. But I'm one of these guys. I'm an old school guy that feels that your champion should not look like Finn Balor and should not look like Seth Rollins. They should look like Roman Reigns. Maybe not the skill set of Roman Reigns or John Cena, but they should look like that. I feel like the other championships are fit for guys like Balor and Rollins. The Intercontinental Championship, if the Cruiserweight Championship was around, something like that. I just feel that a major world heavyweight, the word heavyweight doesn't carry anything when your champion's 198 pounds.
Not a heavyweight.
Not so much.
A light heavyweight.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I agree.
Nothing against these guys, because these guys are so talented. We know Seth Rollins is unbelievable. But